I think time might run out. That's Ian Poulter, a few days ago, sitting across from former footballer Jimmy Bullard on the Golf Life YouTube channel. Nobody asked about his swing or his schedule. They asked if LIV Golf survives past this year. And that's the answer he gave. This is a guy who signed with LIV back in 2022, one of the league's original marquee names. And for 3 years, he's been out front defending it every chance he gets, talking up the crowds, talking up the format, talking up where it's all headed. He's argued with pundits over it. He's carried the "we're growing the game" line through every rough patch the league's had. Now he's the one saying the clock might actually run out on it. Before we get into what he actually said and why the timing is so strange, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This LIV situation is moving fast, and you'll want to catch the next update the moment it breaks. Here's why the timing is strange. 10 days before Poulter said this, LIV CEO Scott O'Neill went public with what sounded like good news: a signed, board-approved agreement with a new lead investor, targeting a September close. O'Neill's calling it LIV 2.0, a smaller 10-event schedule, 5 international and 5 in the US, and a structure where players actually hold equity in the league itself instead of just cashing a contract check. That's a real shift from how LIV's been run since 2022, when the whole pitch to players was guaranteed money up front, not a stake in the business. On paper, this new version is the league solving its money problem. Poulter's the one who did the math out loud on what that solution actually requires. Somewhere around $300 million, closing by roughly September 1st. Said plainly, that's not LIV 2.0 is happening. That's LIV 2.0 has about 2 weeks to happen, and nobody, including O'Neill, has named who the investor even is yet. And it's worth pausing on who's saying all this. Poulter's usually a careful, media-trained talker when it comes to LIV. He picks his interviews, and he doesn't go off script on the league's finances. Sitting down with a former footballer's YouTube channel and volunteering a timeline for his own employer's potential collapse isn't the move of someone who thinks this is a minor technicality. Whatever else is true, he clearly thinks the next few weeks are worth being blunt about, in public, on the record. And it's not just Poulter connecting those dots. A week after O'Neill's announcement, LIV quietly canceled its season-ending Michigan Team Championship, a full team event, scrapped, with no real explanation offered to fans or players. That's not the kind of move a league makes when it feels good about its finances. And it happened while the "we've got our investors" story was supposedly still the headline. Go back further, and you find where this all actually started. Back in April, Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund confirmed it's done bankrolling LIV once this season ends. PIF has put more than $6 billion into this league since 2022, and for reasons it hasn't laid out publicly, that spending simply stops now. Full stop. No extension. Walking away from a number that size mid-project isn't a small call for anyone involved. And it's the exact call Poulter is now speculating about, on camera, with a stranger's podcast microphone sitting in front of him. It's worth remembering the funding target itself has already moved. Earlier reporting had the investors' search pegged at somewhere between $250 and $300 million, and now it's being described the same way, still unsettled, still a range instead of a locked figure, even after O'Neill stood up and called the deal signed. A signed agreement with a moving price tag and no named backer isn't nothing, but it's not the finish line either. And that gap between "we've got a deal" and "here's exactly who and how much" is precisely the space Poulter's comments are living in. That's the money side of the story. And if you want to actually see where it lands, this is a good spot to like the video and subscribe, because there's still a lot more unfolding here. And think about what a 10-event schedule actually means next to the current one. Fewer events means fewer roster spots, full stop. That's just arithmetic, not a rumor. So, LIV 2.0 isn't only a rebrand with a new backer attached. It's a smaller league than the one Poulter signed up for in 2022, built around a September deadline that's now about 2 weeks away as of this video. That's the situation he's speaking into when he goes on a podcast and says the quiet part out loud. Now here's what makes Poulter's comments hit different than if some outside analyst said the same thing. While he's out there doing the math on whether LIV survives, he's also sitting at number 52 in the individual points race, which puts him in the league's own relegation zone. Only 2 individual events are left this season, and the team championship that would have been the last one just got canceled. So Indianapolis is carrying more weight than it would have a month ago. It runs August 20th through the 23rd, and Poulter needs a top 48 finish there just to hold his spot for 2027. Miss that number, and his current LIV contract, which expires at the end of this year regardless, just becomes the end of the road. If he does get relegated, the way back isn't simple either. His path to the DP World Tour, the one he walked away from in 2022 to sign with LIV, has reportedly gotten murkier the longer he's been gone. So the guy publicly warning that LIV's time might run out is, at the exact same moment, watching his own time inside LIV run out, on a completely separate clock that nobody else in this story is racing against. In that same interview, Poulter didn't stop at "time might run out." He went further, raising a question golf fans hadn't really heard a LIV player say out loud before. Would PIF actually let the current version of LIV go bankrupt, write off $6 billion, just to relaunch clean as something smaller under a new investor? That's not a rival tour pro taking a shot from the outside. That's one of LIV's own founding faces, still cashing LIV checks, asking whether the people who built the league would let it fail on purpose. And that's really the whole story sitting in one place. Poulter's still doing the public defense of LIV in one breath, still repeating the same lines about crowds and momentum he's used for 3 years, and in the next breath, he's the one openly wondering if his own league walks away from $6 billion and starts over without him. He might end up watching that decision get made from outside the league entirely if Indianapolis doesn't go his way first. Which means the next 2 weeks matter twice over. Indianapolis decides whether Poulter's even a LIV player in 2027. That same rough window is when O'Neill's investor deal either closes or it doesn't. 2 deadlines, same month, same guy caught in both of them at once. And right now, nobody, including Poulter, seems totally sure which one runs out first. His own card, or the league that gave it to him. Whatever happens at Indianapolis, it's going to be hard to watch it as just a golf tournament anymore. If you want to see how this actually plays out, the relegation battle, the funding deadline, all of it, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the update the second it breaks. And drop your take in the comments. Does LIV actually make it to 2027?